Welcome to Fabulously Flawed, where the perfectly imperfect come to shine. Marni, along with her sensational sidekick Taylor, are the mother-daughter duo that puts the fun in dysfunction. Every episode, we unpack the chaos of mental health while sprinkling in the sass of pop culture. We're here to share stories, laughs, and lessons that remind you to embrace your quirks and to never, ever let anyone dull your sparkle. So join us as we celebrate the beauty of being fabulously flawed. Let's get real, let's get raw, and let's get ready to add a little extra shimmer to your day.
Fabulous friends, fabulous people. Thank you again for joining us on Fabulously Flawed. I am your host, Marni, and I am proud to introduce, as always, my darling, dazzling, delicious, delightful, dainty
That's my cue to come right on in. Hi, guys. I am so proud you said you were proud of me. I think you just said
earlier we were talking about how we started. We're like, let's just try one episode. I'm like, Tay, I'm begging you, one episode, because, you're like me, you have such a good personality. And my stories are so fun, but I had no one to talk to.
Yeah.
And one is now is this our 30th or almost?
Oh my God, I think this is 29.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy.
Do you know,
crazy.
It took me like 4 years, I think, to do 30.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea.
And now we've knocked out 30 in just a few months.
Poo. Well, welcome, guys, to our latest episode. We're calling it Depresh Sesh, depression. We're going to talk about what depression has, some of the symptoms and some of the personality traits or that I have exhibited, someone else might have exhibited.
And, my personal experience with, my depressed moments and my mom. So we'll kind of just dive into the whole world of depression.
But let's just call it Depresh Sesh.
Yeah.
To make it more, right?
I'm like, yes, let's dive into the wonderful world of depression.
And then you have me going, Depresh Sesh?
Yeah, I know. I'm over here like womp womp. And you
I know. Do you know what Valley Girls are?
Of course.
Oh, duh.
What, do I live under a rock?
Well, sometimes I ask you things from my past and you
No, of course I know what totally, Mom.
Oh my God. Okay.
Obviously I know what a Valley Girl is.
Can you imagine what I must have sounded like with my over-the-top personality? I must have been
I heard you when you were 17 in that Madonna video. You were so Valley Girl. Where did that voice come from? You're from Florida.
Why am I not posting that? Probably because I'm originally from New York and all my other past lives.
Oh, true.
So Depresh Sesh. Speaking of New York, the only place I'm not depressed, ironically.
Oh, I talk about it all the time, how every time I'm in New York, my depression and anxiety magically disappears, floats away into Never Land.
It's really
non-existent.
I could lay in bed for 1 month and not see a stranger, and it's like, okay, we're going to New York, and it's like, boom, a whole different person. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But I got to tell you, depression, it is not always just laying in bed crying. It's somebody who's walking around with a smile on their face, trying to be brave for people around them. And that is probably the most mentally excruciating, draining. So
it's gotta be exhausting.
You know how I always say you get a mental allotment, emotional daily card, a daily.
Yes.
The amount of energy we put into putting on that brave face, it depletes us.
Oh,
so when
absolutely.
I couldn't move or go anywhere, I mean, I was hit with everything. It was diagnosis, leukemia, daddy and I everything was falling apart at that one time.
Yeah.
And,
this was 2018-ish?
2017. Yes. I was diagnosed in 2017. I was 47, ADHD.
Yeah, and then your leukemia diagnosis was March 2018.
Correct. Yeah. And it was just, I'm still recouping from being 8,
I know.
So what it did was with part of my symptoms for my trauma and borderline personality, I do all or nothing. I don't have any middle. I don't know how to, what's that word?
Compromise?
Or have that medium. It's either night or dark love. It's either I'll go out, not go out. So when something hits me, it hits me hard. And
when she says either go out or not go out, by the way, she means go out every day for a week and then not go out for a month.
Exactly.
Right? Is that what you meant?
I think, what's interesting, Tay, the minute I stopped doing Zumba, if this were today, that would be the first clue, because that's something you look for with people in depression, giving up their passions.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing made me happier than Zumba-ing. Today you would sit down with me and you would say, Mom, something's wrong. You haven't been to your Zumba class in a month. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that then.
No.
It was just get the fuck up.
I know.
Not from you. I'm talking.
No. But from me, no. I
true.
Definitely also was because, and I'll say it again. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'm so grateful that I don't know what it's like to be super depressed and have those feelings. So that's why I didn't understand how to communicate with you. It's like I just looked at you like laying there in this dark room and I just wasn't understanding. Like, don't you want to go out to dinner and live life?
And remember, though, I was always the mom, carpool every day.
Oh,
driving
always.
Noah, driving you. But then when I first asked you to take Noah to the orthodontist appointment, I knew that's when I couldn't move anymore. Remember, I was just like,
yeah, no, I started to take care of her.
this role that you should not have been put into to be like another mommy to Noah.
I know, but you know what? It just brought us closer together, Noah and I. And you needed time to heal your mind to become the mother that you once were again, because it's not like you ever stopped being an amazing mother. That's just a permanent thing. You are an amazing mother. But
I broke 2019. I just left my house and went to an apartment.
You stopped, like, maybe let's use the word physically being the mother. Like, you weren't actively, you were always emotionally his mother, but not
at
physically, if that kind of makes sense.
It was draining. You know, you have a child with, you know, and raising you as a teenager in my marriage and us not understanding what this when I was diagnosed with ADHD, this is what started my spiral of depression. My psychiatrist did not say to me, now that you have ADHD, you're going to be aware of things that happened for the first time in your life, and you might react angry. That did not happen. What happened was I am now losing my shit on everything. Why is my house like this? Why are you talking to me like this? Don't talk to,
Yes.
Now I'm angry and taking all of my anger out on daddy, taking it all out on you. And then Dr. Drucker shamed me. Like, maybe you're a little narcissistic, instead of saying, you know what, Marni, I get it. Your eyes are opening. So it took watching Mom, Allison Janney and Rainn Wilson. This scene changed everything for me. It was my defining moment, that aha moment when she was diagnosed with ADD, and she's like, I'm angry. And he goes, well, you should be, as her therapist. You are now aware of the life that you possibly could have been if it not been for this disability.
Yes, your diagnosis and getting on that ADHD medication opened up your eyes. So of course you were depressed. You started realizing everything and coming to terms with things. And of course it would depress the shit out of you. You lived a really, really tough life.
It took me till 2017. Ignorance is bliss. I'm glad I wasn't aware of the depth of pain I went through.
For so long.
Long. And then it hit. And I left my children. I left even Juicy for that few months. When I moved to the apartment in 2019, I couldn't function. I would just lay in bed all day and eat junk food, watching TV all night, which, that's how you can tell you're healthy, when you just grab microwavable food or Pop-Tarts or chips or whatever. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle life. I broke. But I don't care. I don't regret it at all.
No, of course not.
It just was part of my path of healing.
Oh, I was just about to say, you will never heal unless you come to terms with whatever you need to heal from, and then you can go from there. Acceptance isn't like there's like stages of grief. It's kind of, I feel like, the same with depression, like accepting it, grieving that you have depression, and then working towards fixing it.
So when I saw on Mom, when Rainn Wilson said that, like, you should be angry, I remember pausing it, finding daddy. I'm like, baby, gotta see this. And it was like, look, I did have a right to be upset. It wasn't because he took it personally. We didn't know how to say, I am now realizing I have been abandoned by my father when I was 8, by this when it happened. I didn't realize this happened, with clarity for the first time. I was so angry with the realization of what happened with my life. When I would yell at you or daddy, it was never intentional for you guys to be those emotional punching bags. It was all within. How did I not know that I was so severely abandoned and wounded, and self-dislike and the disgust for myself, and everything came out into the people I love. And I didn't know how to say to you guys, it's just the realization.
And you know what? That is not your fault. It's society's fault for never talking about these issues that so many people face every day. Prior to COVID, mental health was never, ever a discussion. Depression was it still is so taboo, but even before pre-COVID times, I'm saying, the topic of mental health was just discarded.
Hey, when I wrote my book,
there was no education surrounding it. So people dealing with it, and those your loved ones, helping your loved ones through it. Nobody had any idea what to do.
I had no idea when I wrote my book in 2019. We used I looked at Daddy and maybe mental health was too offensive. So I used the words mental wellness. If I were to do my book again, there's the part 2 book has the accountability that was not taken so much. Had I not reacted to such stupid shit, like it was like Daddy and I became combative over the housekeeper. Remember when she was in the bedroom and I said not to, just because I said, we didn't even know what we're arguing about. Why was she in our bathroom? What's the big deal? Well, don't you think it was our privacy? And then we got into this huge argument over something that was so stupid and trivial because we didn't know how to communicate.
I know.
And it was just those stupid things, and that broke me.
I know.
And and if anyone is out there that has ever lost it, or if you've lost it in front of your children or you have broke, you're not alone. I mean, my daughter has watched me on the floor screaming. I don't even know what I was like, Tay. I have to be honest.
It's some of the darkest moments of my life your darkest moments were my darkest moments because we lived them together. I saw you break many, many times, and those breakdowns would be very severe.
And I would cry, please help me.
Very, very severe. And I'm not a trained mental health professional, so I didn't really know what to do. I'm still learning. And there was no, oh my God. If there was 988 before, I would have called, that would have been on speed dial.
They would have been like, Marnie's back. She's good, girl. Come on, let me have her. Bring it in.
I know. Yeah, because you needed those people who understood what you were going through. And I'm grateful that I don't understand or didn't,
Thank God. Everyone, if you can't understand like my life or whatever, be so grateful.
Be grateful.
So grateful.
Yes. And if you are watching your parent or your caregiver or a loved one suffering in pain and you feel helpless, please know that there are resources for you. You can contact 988 to maybe just get some guidance on how to handle it, or just talk about your own feelings watching your loved one go through such a dark time.
Because of COVID, it opened up this window of apps after apps after apps for mental health. So many of them that now.
Oh my God, yes.
Because had COVID not happened, would my story have been so successful? I don't know. Would people have wanted to hear about mental health? Probably not.
And everyone kind of got a taste of what it was like to be alone in this world.
Because everybody lost control. Everybody lost control
of their own lives.
Their own lives. And being out of control will drive anyone.
Oh, absolutely crazy. And those already suffering from mental illness, that COVID probably sent so many people over the edge.
Except me. I loved it. Everybody was living my world. I loved
the world of quarantine.
Quarantining. I had been quarantining forever. Oh, you can just leave the groceries at the door. Perfect. I don't have to see anyone. And then the masks and the sunglasses. And then, my sensory took over when I did the baseball hat. Too much. Baseball hat, mask, and glasses.
You really were hiding your identity.
Nobody knew me. It was like I was from a foreign country.
And this is when we lived in Aventura, so you were especially
but then I realized, okay, and that's maybe when my hair got thicker because I stopped wearing the baseball hat because it was like the sunglasses and the mask was already over sensory sweating me.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, everyone, welcome to my world. 2 o'clock, we're binge watching. Love it.
Oh, for those with social anxiety, quarantining was literally like...
lit.
Yeah, literally, like people say, like I see on TikTok, they'll be like, we miss, quarantine time. Now, obviously not the tragedy that was, happening around us, the tragic events, but the actual act of staying in your house, not having to socialize or go to school or work was great.
So funny about our building where we lived, it was gorgeous. Hidden Bay in Aventura, it was magnificent, our apartment. And they were giving out all the instructions for COVID. And in our building, it said, no more housekeepers. Oh, like everybody else got that for COVID, remember?
Right. Yes.
And I was like, God. Oh, no. I need Betsy. I need Betsy here. And
that is so, you're right. I remember that.
Remember?
Wow.
Like, because on most people's list, masks, priority, but ours was no more housekeepers.
Oh my God.
Clean yourselves, bitches. Clean yourselves.
I guess we had to.
We did.
Yeah, no, we did. We obviously.
Betsy's so tiny, we could have snuck her in.
I know, right? Like put her in.
Or like a suitcase and rolled her in.
Or under my shirt at the time. I was so big.
No, you weren't that big when COVID started.
Oh,
Didn't it start? Oh, no, because I put you through.
COVID made it worse, but I had already, by the time COVID started, I had probably already gained like 20 25 pounds.
Oh, I got you.
So that's a good amount of weight.
Do you know what's amazing? I look back at some of my memories on Facebook when I made those videos during COVID, but those were so sporadic. Most of the time I sat on that bench in the bedroom,
Yeah.
remember? Just staring out the window.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
That's all I friggin' did.
I have seen guys like, I may have not experienced. I have had
Moderation. That was the word I was looking for. I don't know how to do things in moderation. It's either all or nothing.
Yes. Okay.
Go
Yeah.
on. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I was saying that I've had depressed moments, and I wouldn't say I suffer with depression, but I have seen someone suffer so badly from it that my heart, I'm just sitting here kind of reflecting now as we're talking about COVID times. My heart I just want to say that I'm with you, that we are a support system for those going through the dark time and watching, someone you love go through a dark time. I just want to reiterate that we are here for you. You could DM us if you have my number, text or call us. Like if you DM me for my number, like I want to be a resource for you because I needed someone who understood what I went through and I didn't really have that person. So I want to be that person for someone else.
No, of course, of course. And, depression, it's also when somebody tells you, if somebody's opening up to you and being vulnerable to say, I'm not doing good, I just need time to myself. You cannot say to them what you think will work for them. You are not laying in that bed. You are not in their brain. So to say to someone, oh, just please, I'll take you out for dinner. You'll feel fine. Please just go out. You'll feel fine. It's subconscious invalidating. And it's also, don't tell me what's going to make me feel better. You don't think I thought of that? Gee, let me think to go outside. I never thought of that before.
I know.
But people mean well.
Of course.
But I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to educate. That is my whole mission in life, is to educate people about mental health. And that it's all connected to our physical health. And it is not a personal defeat or failure. I mean,
God, no. Opposite. Accepting that you are suffering.
I have to think of something now that has to do with without mental, there is no men, or something with mental health in men. It's okay. Don't say man up. A man can cry. Please. A man should have vulnerability.
Yes. Men should cry. Men should, everything women do when it comes to emotions, men should do the same thing.
I think we can all agree, though. I think as a nation we can, or the world, but right now our nation, we can collaboratively agree everyone's depressed in some way, shape, or form.
Yo, yeah. I definitely have my down moments for sure.
Just watch the people you love. Like I used my Zumba because if I noticed Daddy stopped going to play tennis or something, I would notice the repeat pattern. I would say, gee, why is he not playing anymore?
Something happened,
If they're not eating or if they're grouchier more than normal. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can approach them not like we used to do when you would look at me like, what's wrong with you? And then I finally sat you down. I said, hey, you don't understand how rude that is. I know in your brain you're looking at me when I'm in a hyper-fixated mode. And when you interrupt somebody in that moment, I snap because I'm in my mode right now of just God knows what I'm thinking about. So when you would say, what's wrong with me? I'd be like, nothing. And you would, so we got combative. But we started to talk and I said, that bothers me. And you were like, I'm so sorry. That was never my intention.
It was just my literal trauma from seeing you for so many years.
And I had to understand that as well.
And that it's just every time I didn't see you with a smile on your face, I get so freaked out that the thoughts going inside your head are, I don't want to be here. I don't want to live.
And that's when I said to you, though, nobody's supposed to be happy all the time unless you see me in bed, door closed, crying, the screaming, whatever I would do when I would become transformed into someone else, when I became every childhood trauma in one.
Yeah, I
don't do that. So if I'm just
very rough,
if I'm just feeling down, it's because,
well, no, of course. I mean, you're supposed to feel, humans are supposed to feel everything from anger to true euphoria. But I guess it was just, when I've seen you,
of course,
when you take these sadness to extremes, that I'm just scared it's going to happen again.
No, I hear you.
It petrifies me because you are the most important person to me in this world, and the thought of you not being here, I don't even want to talk about.
You know what's even worse? The thought that I don't think you would care.
I know.
That's the worst part. Is I sometimes when I go to that dark place, it's not Marni talking, but what takes over me is they don't need me. They don't care. It's fine. You know what? She does not love me. It would not
be literally farther from the truth.
Of course, but
I
that's
can't
not
even explain how false that is.
that's not your mom talking. That's just a wounded little girl talking.
I know.
But this is what I want to educate people on and have them understand your behaviors. They're not right or wrong. They're your behaviors and they could be modified.
Yeah.
If when people feel like I lived petrified to do whatever daddy wanted because I was so afraid he would leave me. So if he said, let's go out for dinner with these people, even though I didn't want to, I did it and I was miserable.
I know.
And
that's what people pleasing does.
People pleasing.
Do not be a people pleaser.
We're totally
You'll drain yourself. You'll exhaust yourself.
Because we are thinking, what doesn't matter how we feel. We need to make other people happy.
Yeah,
and you know what happened?
I stopped doing
Look what
that.
happened. I collapsed.
Yes,
I couldn't take I could not take care of my family because of that.
I know.
I couldn't take care of you
I
because
want to
of that.
say publicly, I mean, I tell you privately all the time, but I just want to say how proud I am of you because only 3 people in this world have seen you at your lowest, me being one of them. And now I see you at your highest.
Yeah.
And I think you are so admirable and brave because I know how much you've suffered. And you've kept fighting for my brother and I to be here, that I know that we kept you as that guiding light type of thing, your purpose for being here. And you recognize that while you were going through these terrible, horrible thoughts. I know that the thought of your children kept you going. So I want to say that. And you know what? It's so sad and unfortunate that there are some mothers out there who the fight of depression, fighting the depression just
and
wins.
Nobody knows. You have no idea.
Wins. And I know that some people say that, dying by suicide is selfish.
No, it's not, because your brain, it's a disease. Your brain's telling you you're not good enough. Your brain's telling you you're not good enough.
Yes.
It's not a choice. It's not a conscious choice. It's long-term suffering. Nobody just wakes up one day and failed the test.
No, of course not. And I just wanted to say that if
Please
you
reach
have
out.
lost, a parent, especially a loved one, but especially a parent to suicide, it had nothing to do with their love for you. And I know that because I have seen my mom who at points wanted to die by suicide.
I saved myself from those triggers where other people didn't have that person to call. Thank God you were close enough, because I don't know what would have happened.
I know. That's why my heart breaks for those that
you're not alone.
The depression took over and won, and it's just I want depression to be talked about.
I want to heal the world.
I'm when we do these podcasts and when you're talking, I sit here and I sit here and I start thinking about things, and it really upsets me. The world is so dark. People are so dark too, and
but we don't know what people are going through. Somebody could already be suffering, and then you have somebody come up to them and go, "Move, you fucking fat bitch." You don't know what they're already going through.
No,
so
my God, that's why being kind to people is important. The only thing you should ever do.
When somebody threw those papers about me, the 161 ways to describe Marni, and they didn't know what my life had been before that. They didn't know that my 2 fathers had left, my 3rd father had left, and what I had been through as a little girl. Nobody knew that. So let's just now add on some more stuff, which lasts a lifetime. I said, I think on a few episodes ago, I still, when people see me on Facebook from high school, they're like, "Ugh, she's so gross, Marni Michelson." Okay. She died. Marni Goldman is here. But on an uplifting note, I want to remind everybody, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I have my own little segments, motivational, Marnivational Mondays. And on Wednesdays, they are Newsweek Wednesdays, where I have been lucky enough or blessed enough to write opinion pieces, what should I do situations for Newsweek. And each Wednesday, I'm going to break down a different situation and why I answered it the way I did. Situations are different.
I love that so much. Your mini episodes are the best.
Yeah.
Everyone give them a listen for sure, because they're like, 10, 15 minutes long?
15 minutes.
A quick drive to your dinner or whatever, work.
Let's hear what Marni has to say.
Yeah, no, I live with my mom. I see her all the time, but she always I'm not just saying this either. You continue to inspire me. You just have all this, swear to God. Yeah, you have all this wisdom. And as I'm getting older and my frontal lobe is developing more and I'm getting more mature, I'm starting to agree a lot more with a lot of what you have to say. Yes, you're wise. Wise. Wisdomy.
Wisdomy.
You're wise. Yes. No, you are. And I am. You're funny, and I'm glad that we could share that wisdom with the world.
Do you remember the little Wise? It was when you were 4 years old or 5 years old. It was a turquoise legging and long sleeve shirt, and it had the Wise potato chip logo on it with the rhinestones. Did you get it from Erica's store?
You would have.
It was.
Are you talking to me as if I bought my own clothes at 4 years old?
Spoiled rotten, Erica. If you're listening, did you sell the potato chip one? Remember you wore it to kindergarten because you had your hand on the hip in the picture with Kendall.
Yes, I do, and a little yellow bow. Of course, I remember. Yes, it probably was from Erica's store.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'll never forget walking in, and she rang up everything, and she was like, "Okay, that'll be $1,300." It's like, "Okay, can I do this much in check, this much on credit card, this much in cash?"
Yep. And those are that is so funny when you used to do that because Dad would literally.
Well, I'm not the only. Clearly, every woman does that.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but then she was so sweet. She was like, "Oh, you just bring the rest tomorrow." Like I had just met her, and I was like, "I love you."
Oh my God, yeah.
Right.
So trustworthy.
So you know what? She did a random act of kindness, and that's why she has so many people that love her today.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think that back to just being kind. I think that this also very much ties into the depression thing, but you being kind to people, not knowing what they're going through, is the most amazing thing you can do because you never know if someone is suffering.
The only smile they get.
Mm-hmm. I was at the DMV this morning, and there's a reputation for DMV workers, but I greet all of them. Hi, good morning. Hi, how are you? Did they do it back? Not necessarily, but that's okay because I know not everyone is saying hi, good morning to them, and God only knows what they're going through.
When we were walking in New York, someone said to me, "Do you say hi to every person?"
That was me.
Yes, and I was like, "I do."
No, I was the one who said, "Do you say hi to every person?"
Every doorman I walk by.
Yes, every door. We were on the Upper East Side, so it was or it was Upper West Side, I forget, but it was an area where there were just a bunch of different residential buildings, and there were doormen, just a bunch in a row, and she just said hi. Good morning, hi to everyone. And I'm like, "Do you say hi to everyone?" And then now I've started saying hi to the doorman.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Because even the most even when I'm walking into work, in the lobby and the office, it's like if it's a person with a package or someone, I'm just like, "Good morning." They don't say it back all the time.
No.
But
I'm always you. And
people look at me like, "What does she want? Like, what's going on here? Like, are you really nice and saying good morning?" And people are so not used to it.
Please, this Mental Health Awareness Month, while pay attention to your loved ones, your friends, your family, your coworkers, whose habits you pretty much understand. And when something changes, please don't feel like you're insulting them by speaking up. If anything, it just shows that you care about them so very much. And also, my other tip this month, make it a point every single day to be nice to someone who you normally wouldn't, or not be nice to, or greet someone, say hello to someone, ask how they're doing if you normally wouldn't. If you normally just say hey to someone, say, "Hey, how are you doing today?" Make an effort to change one thing about how you treat strangers in a positive way this month, and for the rest of all the other months, but especially this Mental Health Awareness Month.
Another thing that will make you feel good this month is when you go to our Etsy store. Because
what a cute, creative way to tie in the Etsy store.
Hello. Do you want to feel good? Check out our Etsy store.
No, but for real.
No, our products are over the top. You have no idea. Whatever you're into, whatever your hobby, passion, whatever it is you need. If you need a pot planter, if you need a hoodie, t-shirt, kitchen, everything.
Coffee mugs. I just personalized a coffee mug for my best friend and her boyfriend. She chose the picture she wanted on the mug, and we put them on for her.
And guess what?
Great gift for couples.
And now she's our exhibit picture.
Oh yeah,
When you go to look for, you want to
shout out Alicia,
woo, woo.
our favorite customer.
I love that family because I loved her grandma.
I know, and her dad and my dad were college roommates. We're so connected.
When I was 19 years old and had nowhere to live and had just I don't know where I was going, I finally found a roommate and worked at a travel agency. Like, hello, I was 19, but this lady Berto was so nice to me because she knew I didn't have a mom. And then it turned out when we met Alicia at camp, we were like, "Your dad started what was their
ZBT?
Was it ZBT
at USF?
Oh my gosh!
In 82.
Founding Fathers. That is so cool. And then you guys were,
and then Alicia and I have grown up together
since you're 10 years old.
Yeah, long time.
So I want to leave this on one thing. It's my last time I'm talking to you is 53. Next time I come on,
someone's birthday is in 2 days. Your Studio 54 queen.
54. So this is birthday weekend.
Yay!
I don't celebrate my birthday birthday. I don't like my birthday, but I do know that I will be happy having some sort of disco ball birthday cake.
1 year hotter, 1 year wiser. Like another year, wait, even hotter, even wiser. I don't know.
I was trying to correlate something hot, the sun, around the sun, like another year around the sun, and then you're hot. I don't know, but I will take it.
We'll come up with something.
As long as somebody says to me, "You don't look 54."
You do. I told you. My the awesome lady who does my eyebrows.
Oh, Melissa. Actually, I need to go get my eyebrows done.
I was telling her, we were talking about you yesterday. She's like, you look amazing. Like, she's like, your mom looks amazing. That I also,
we all use a little bit of filter.
No, but still, give yourself some credit, Mom.
See,
you totally do not look like you're 54. And everyone who's listening probably has an idea of what you look like. Not a 54-year-old.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tay.
You're welcome.
That's my goal, is to age backwards. The word anti-aging, I never thought would be the head of my vocabulary.
Yeah.
But no, I want to be, my goal is to be Dolly Parton, really, for Halloween and when I'm 75.
Do it.
Oh, yeah, that's my goal. I don't want to have wrinkles or lines. Nip tuck. Sorry.
Nip and tuck, baby.
Sorry, baby, if you're listening.
Anyway, so I want to end this episode by saying happy birthday to the most
sweetheart.
Amazing, incredible, spectacular woman, person, mom, friend, everything. You're the best, the light of my life. I'm trying to say so many
I know
things.
all my wishes came true, but I can't imagine what's next.
No better way to, spend a couple days before your birthday than recording.
That's true. So I want to remind everybody, don't give up. I didn't, guys.
Please don't. And check in with those you love and care about, please.
You're not going to let anyone burst your bubble. And take it from me, the Studio 54-year-old disco ball. Never let anyone dull your sparkle, because I am up here illuminating, shining, and sparkling.
Yes, you are, girl.
So with that, guys, have a fabulous day, a fabulous weekend. Sending so much love and peace.
See you Tuesday.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fabulously Flawed. Remember, we drop new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, so be sure to subscribe and never miss a moment of this dazzling duo. Craving more sparkle? Head over to fabulouslyflawed.com for exclusive content, episode archives, and more. And don't forget to check out Fabulously Flawed on Etsy for tons of amazing products that are sure to brighten your day. Be sure to follow us on socials to keep the conversation going and become a part of our Fabulously Flawed family. Until then, keep embracing your beautiful imperfections, and remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle.